Hey folks, welcome back to the Lone Pine Tarot, or of course, welcome to the channel if you are brand new here. Today's pick a card reading, as you can tell by the title you just clicked on, pretty short and sweet. We're receiving messages from angels. So if you're looking for a more angelic energy type reading, something a little bit more calming and comforting and healing, then this is the perfect reading for you. And of course, to celebrate with an angel message, we're using the Angel Guide Oracle to choose our piles today. So, angels that are surrounding my pile 1, 2, 3 today, can you come forward and help us pick cards that help them choose the right message for them? Thank you. There we go. There's pile 1. Feeling this one back here for pile 2. And for pile 3, I think this one right there. And let's unveil the cards together. So for pile 1 over here on the left, we have manifestation. For pile 2 in the middle, we have raise your vibration. And last but not least, for our pile 3 on the very end here to the right, we have earth and ground. So quick refresher, pile 1 is manifestation. Pile 2 is raise your vibration. And pile 3 is earth and ground. Of course, though, you are always welcome to pause on this part of the video if you need more time to decide what pile you would like read for you. But either way, whenever you're ready, you've chosen your pile, drop down to the description box below and or the top pinned comment beneath the reading. Click on the timestamp there, and I'll see you in our little chat about what message the angels want to share with you today. See you there. Hello there, my lovely pile number 1. Welcome today to your pick a card reading about a message from the angels, something secret they want to share with you. As you recall, the card used to pick your pile was the Angel of Manifestation today. Very beautiful. So we'll set that over here next to the pine cone, as is our custom. And then let's draw your oracle cards to begin the reading. So, angels coming forward for pile 1 today. Could you please guide us to the right cards that explain what message you would like to share with them? Thank you for their highest, best good, for comfort and for healing. So, I'm feeling this one right here. And we received, surrender the idea you can fix someone. And I'll read this here in just a moment when we're done drawing the oracle cards. Surrender the idea that you can fix someone. Okay. See what else pops out with the other decks here. Okay, that almost popped out. I'm going to take this one back here. We have number 12, pause. A little bit of an emphasis on meditation and the heart chakra there, which is interesting because we also have the light of where this angel has his hands right before his heart, right before the heart chakra as well. A little bit of synchronicity there. Very interesting. And then the last oracle deck. Definitely that one. And from the Soul Mirror Oracle today, you received teaching with the keywords of withheld versus giving. So pile 1, pretty much already, this reading is quite straightforward. This message today from your angels is all about how much you're investing in somebody and whether or not you should keep giving or you should pause on giving to them. things along the lines of basically just how much energy should you be putting into this particular person is what the angels want to speak to you about today. I think there's something you really, really want from them, and it's something I'm getting the sense that is for both your best good and their best good. Like, I think you have great intentions, pile one, but what your angels are saying is this reading is a bit of a calling to maybe take a little bit of a pause, like your Ask Your Guides Oracle here says, to really think about what's the end goal here with this person that you want to make this change or do this particular thing. What's your goal for them? And then also, what are you looking for your own goal out of it as well? Because, and we'll see more details when I pull your tarot cards later, but I'm already getting an intuitive sense that you maybe are already starting to see signs that it might not work out necessarily, pile one, or you fear that it won't, or there is some sort of hesitation or anxiety around, you know, am I just throwing my efforts down into a black hole? Will this person really change? Will the desired outcome come to fruition? Things like that. And I think because of the presence of surrender the idea you can fix someone, there is an element of you really looking out for their best interests. Like I said, I feel a good vibe off of you with this. It's not like your angels are saying, you know, shame on you, you can't control this person, or don't try to control this person, or, you know, shame on you, you have bad intentions. Not at all, pile one. It's just that they really want you to evaluate or reevaluate maybe what's going on with this particular situation in your life. Okay, and I will read this right here from the surrender card. It says, it's time for a relationship to shift. If it doesn't work to try to fix someone, it doesn't work to try to fix someone. Each person must be accountable for his or her own healing. Okay. So, kind of like what it says on the 10, pile one. There's some sort of need for change in this relationship for it to work, or for you to look out for yourself the most, okay? Not in a selfish way, but in the way of, you know, sometimes we can pour in a lot of energy and effort into people in our lives, pile one. We can really do our best to try to make them happy, make sure they're on the best road, try to course correct for them, etc. But they need to want to change too for it to work. It takes two to tango when it comes to changing for other people, okay? And someone can't take your hand, or you can't lift someone up. I'll rephrase that. You can't lift someone up and reach out your hand to them if they're not going to take it in return. They have to squeeze back, you know, like someone grabbing someone's hand like this. And sometimes we have to pause our efforts in trying to help somebody until we know that they're ready to finally grab our hand back to pull them out of whatever abyss that they're falling into, okay? And your angels are applauding you and commending you for your giving nature, for your caring nature, pile one. This is a good quality of yours, to want to help people, to want the best for them and want the relationship between you and them to go splendidly, but sometimes the most wise thing to do is to also look out for yourself, or look after yourself, because we can get ourselves into situations where we can just pour and pour and pour all of this energy and effort into somebody, right? And it can all be for naught because, like I said, that one person that you're trying to fix or help is not willing to grab back and do their part on the effort of changing or getting better. Sometimes for people to learn or to get better, they have to be let go and drop to rock bottom and learn how to pull themselves out, is what I'm hearing from your angels. Okay. That's their lesson to learn, and it's not your responsibility to make up for their mistakes, pile one. It's not your responsibility to get them out of the holes they always dig themselves into, okay? Not at all. And you're good-natured. It's good of you, but you need to also consider what this is costing you, okay? And then sometimes, too, what is it costing them? Because if this person is someone that tends to rely on you a lot, pile 1, sometimes when they always know that they have you to rely on, that enables them towards never wanting to fix things themselves. So sometimes, even when you withhold a little bit more and let them figure out how to fix it themselves, that can teach them the valuable lesson of independence, of self-reliance, things like that, okay? So that is what your angels really wanted to talk to you about today. I am going to pull some tarot cards in a second here, but let me just take one last glance over your oracle cards to make sure that I'm not missing anything. Yeah, because with your soul mirror oracle here, we have the figure of the woman in the tree. And her message is teaching with withheld versus giving. I think you're trying to teach someone something, pile 1. I think you're trying to be a teacher figure to them. But like this card says, sometimes you have to give and sometimes you have to withhold to teach the same lesson. Okay? And it almost reminds me of that children's book of, I think it's called The Giving Tree. And it was, from my understanding, it's been a while since I read it, since I was in, probably kindergarten, first grade, things like that. But in that story, to my understanding, the tale was about someone who kept coming to this tree and asking the tree for something every single day, and the tree kept giving and giving and giving, but then it withered out, and it was dying because all it did was give and give and give, okay? That's what that card reminds me of. And that, I think in that metaphor, your angel is coming forward, having brought that to my attention. You're the giving tree in this situation, pile 1. Okay? And they want you to focus more on your self-healing and protect yourself a little bit more and let go a little bit with whoever this person is in your life. Because sometimes, another thing coming to my mind is how, the story about how, when baby birds are learning to fly sometimes, or at least some species, they're pushed out of the nest to learn how to fly. This is what that feels like with you and this person, pile 1, okay? Maybe they're kind of a baby bird. You need to push a little bit more and let them learn that self-reliance, okay, so that they can fly without needing your assistance. And that helps you, and it helps them, both in different ways. Okay, so I'm going to draw the tarot cards now using, we're using the Ethereal Visions Tarot today. I thought gilded cards would look nice with an angel reading. It's always the color I kind of associate with angels is gold. Well, and white too, but. So, angels coming forward for pile 1. Could you please give us around 5 cards that explains more about what's going on and advice you have for them in this situation? Something reassuring, comforting, guiding. Okay, card number 1 is the 7 of Wands reversed. Okay, feeling like we're tired of the uphill battle. Because, typically upright, the 7 of Wands is, if we look at it, this person is defending themselves against what seems like people that are coming up the hill. So it's the card of being defensive, but reversed, it's like letting go of being defensive. Letting go of that. I'm tired of the uphill battle. I'm tired of defending myself Okay, and then we have the devil, which is about the things that bind or chain us or hold us back. Can mean addictions, can mean getting caught in earthly pleasures too much. It could be that this person that you're trying to help gets stuck a lot, and you're trying to help them see the light and help them out of bad mistakes. And then we have the 2 of Cups here. 2 of Cups is all about a relationship. Yep. So that's the core card here, the 3rd card in a 5 spread reading, which is what I usually use for my readings, pile 1. And the core card here is, the relationship card, literally. So definitely a relationship like we were talking about. Okay, King of Pentacles, which is economic prosperity, the manifestation of material abundance, right? And then last but not least, the 10 of Cups. So pile 1, this actually might be a romantic relationship because of the outcome being the Ten of Cups. You can see that this is a young couple here with a baby, right? Typically the Ten of Cups is, it's like the Two of Cups in terms of it being like a relationship card, but Ten of Cups tends to be like happily ever after, or like a happy family type card. Happiness in the home. And so I think, this might actually be a romantic relationship, pile 1, but for some of you it could be more like a very, very close platonic relationship as well, like a family member or a friend. And I'm not getting if this is past or present energy for some of you. So some of you it might be past, some of you it might be present. And the way that manifests is that, maybe right now, if this is a past situation that went on where maybe you've already kind of like let this person go to learn the lesson on their own, like self-reliance and things like that. Maybe lately you've been feeling kind of guilty about it. And so your angels are coming forward to kind of balm your guilt about, hey, don't worry, that was the right choice to make. And or if you're at the precipice, the crossroads of that choice right now of, should I keep holding on or do I let them go to learn the lesson on their own? Your angels are saying the right choice is to be the mama bird pushing the baby bird out of the nest a little bit, okay? Because they need to learn the lesson on their own, and it's not your responsibility to always help them out of a bad way, okay? Like we were saying before with the oracle cards before we pulled the tarot cards. But in general, pile 1, relationship of some sort here. And the Two of Cups specifically is about the harmony in relationships, because as you can see, we have a black and a white cup, which is balance, using color symbolism. And in terms of what's going on, it almost feels like this person has been making mistakes around money with the King of Pentacles, because the King of Pentacles is about, like I was saying, like financial abundance and material security. The King of Pentacles is the master of being successful with career and business and finances, things like that. And so that combined with the Devil over here is, it's like this other person seems to have gotten in a lot of issues around, situations that were holding them back, that costs them money, which, like addictions are one example, of course. When people have addictions, that can cost them a lot of money and they're not being financially responsible because, like the addiction can kind of take over their finances, because that's the one thing they want to pour their money into, right? Things like that. Or maybe like gambling is another example. Whatever it is, it's something to do with, finances, and it's something that had been chaining them. And I think you saw yourself as a bit of like, oh, I need to be a savior for this person. I need to be their helper, because how are they going to get out of this themselves? And especially, like I said, with the Ten of Cups, meaning like a very close, with the Two of Cups, like a close personal relationship. It could even literally mean that this was a child of yours, pile 1, because I also am getting a sense of a feeling of responsibility here on your end. You're like, oh God, I feel so responsible for this. But, be it past or be it present, part of this lesson your angels are saying, is to learn to let go of people that need to be let go in order to learn their lesson. I think you take it upon yourself too much to feel responsible for other people's needs, pile 1, because of your generous nature, okay? And that's a great thing, to be generous, but unfortunately, sometimes that means that you can be taken advantage of, okay? Or people, like I was saying, don't learn their lesson because they think, oh, well, pile 1 is always reliable. I'll just rely on them. They'll never fail me. I can just keep messing up and having these issues because, well, pile 1 is going to have my back, right? And so, in a way, you almost kind of get used. Or, of course, in the situation of when people have addictions, right? Or it's like mental health related, they're not always in the right mind. So it's not even like that they necessarily are like intentionally using you, pile 1, or that they didn't, it's not like they intentionally used you in, if this is like past tense, in the past, but unfortunately the darkness of when people have an issue like that doesn't just affect them, the darkness also spreads to the people around them, and it kind of just drains everyone in the situation involved. And you have a big heart, pile 1, we have the heart chakra emphasized here in these two cards, like I was saying before. I think it's even a little bit here in this card too, because there's a light over her chest. And then even the color green in the surrender, the idea you can fix someone because the color of the heart chakra is green. That tells me that, maybe doing some work surrounding working with your heart chakra, like maybe some yoga poses that are really good for that if you're into yoga, working with meditations that are focused on the heart chakra, or listening to frequency music attuned to the heart chakra, frequency, things like that might help here in this situation for you. Also being kind to yourself, pile 1, because I have a feeling that as soon as you did pull away from this person, or if this is present, you're going to feel guilty. You're immediately going to be like, oh my God, I feel like a horrible person. I'm just like leaving this person to waste, and I'm leaving this person just to, like, they need me. And it's almost speaks to me, pile 1, of maybe you need to feel needed is kind of what's going on here. Not that you're not doing it out of the generosity of your heart, of course, but at the same time, it's like there's this distinct feeling I'm getting intuitively off of this reading that it's like you're like, I need to feel needed. I need to be useful. I need to be helpful. I need to be like you're very service oriented is what I'm getting. And so it's like part of maybe even your purpose has been wrapped up in this. And so the loss of letting go of them isn't necessarily just the feeling of, oh God, they're going to fail without me, but also there might be an emptiness that you're fearing in that I'm going to lose a little bit of my purpose because what am I but to serve others, okay, to help others, because I think that's part of what your core identity is based off of, pile 1. And in that case, they're telling me that, you should focus some of that. If you do feel some of that purposelessness, you should focus some of it on the purpose of caring for yourself for once, okay? What do you want? Okay, especially if this has been a situation where the affected person has been taking up a lot of your time and your mental energy and your emotional energy because, when people do have issues and we've been trying to help them, like I said, it's the darkness of what's going on in their life can spread to ours, and it can make us feel like drained. Because of the responsibility and the stress. So they're really telling you to emphasize on self-care right now, pile 1. They really want you to focus on, eating good food and, maybe if you have the means, like go out. I keep hearing massage for some reason. Like, I don't know if you have any like massage therapists near where you are, or maybe like someone who does like holistic massage, things like that. Things to do with reducing the stress in your physical body from this whole situation is very important, is what I'm hearing from these angels, okay? And, they keep saying healing of the body. The healing power of touch. I think that's just the massage message coming through. So if you have the means, pile 1, I would definitely go. It's probably pretty odd for a tarot reader to be like, go get a massage, but here you go. If you need license to, go ahead, get a massage, pile 1, because that is what is coming through. And or, if you don't have the means, you can even do like self-soothing massages, like you can try a hand massage on yourself every day, or you can, maybe ask a loved one to give you a massage and maybe give them one in return, things like that. Or, like having a bath can kind of, with the heat and the aromatherapy of like a bubble bath, can help relieve tension and muscle tension, especially stress in the body. There's almost kind of a feeling of a need to, they keep saying detoxify. Like, it's like there's something about this situation that's left you so drained and touched by the darkness of what's going on in that other person's life that you were trying to help, that it's like you need to recover yourself, and that's really what they're emphasizing here, okay? And I think, what I'm being drawn to is to do 3 more cards on what will happen with the person that you either let go in the past or are considering letting go in the present right now. Because I think that might help balm some of your worries, pile 1, because a lot of times when we decide to let go of people or like let them go and fix themselves, right, we question, well, oh God, what's going to happen with them? Like, you know, are they going to end up horrible or something, you know, are they going to heal themselves and fix themselves? So I'm just going to ask your angels that. So angels for pile 1, could you please give us 3 cards that explain more about what will happen with the person that they're maybe kind of stepping away from a bit, or could if they choose to do so. So we have, let's see, the Queen of Cups, okay. Healing of the heart. And there's a lot of emphasis on cups in this reading. I want to say, you know, cups in a reading can indicate, especially when addiction comes up, like alcoholism, pile 1. Maybe it's alcoholism that this person is dealing with. Okay, we have the World reversed and we have the 4 of Wands reversed. I want to say that if you're wondering what's going to happen to the person that you're kind of stepping away from, especially if you choose to do so, if this is present energy, it's like, yeah, Queen of Cups is healing of the heart. Emotional healing, which could mean they get into therapy to help them. The World reversed is an indication that something is not ending, or it's not going to be the end of something. So if you're worried about their health, pile 1, I would say that like they're going to be able to fix it in time, okay? It's not, because that's the thing, is the World upright is usually like, oh, that's the curtain close of something, it's the finality, but reversed, it's like, no, it's not over yet, okay? And then the 4 of Wands reversed indicates like being away from home, so that could be maybe like a rehab center that they get checked into, or some sort of like treatment center they get checked into, something that takes them away from home, okay? And it's like they'll finally get the help that they need at a place like that. That will help heal their heart. And then, like I said, with the abundance of cups in this reading, you know, 10, 2, and the Queen of Cups, especially with the Devil there, makes me think of, like, a drinking addiction or, like, something taken by the mouth, right? But yeah, I do see healing here for them. So that might also help balm your worry about stepping away from them, pile 1, because I do see here your angels are saying they're going to be okay. They just might need to be away from home for a while and some sort of treatment to help them, okay, with, you know, whatever their specific problem has been, okay. So I believe that is everything, pile 1. I hope the reading was helpful for you. If you liked it, if it resonated, please like, comment, or subscribe to the channel if you have not done so yet. That just helps me out a little bit, which helps me provide more readings for both you and others, okay, in the future. And as is our tradition on the channel, I wish you a wonderful rest of your day with hopefully a massage or a nice warm bath in the future that's nice and calming, right? And I hope to see you in the next reading, pile 1. Bye. Hello, my lovely pile number 2. Welcome today to your message from the angels pick a card reading. As you recall, the card used to pick your pile today was the Angel of Raise Your Vibration. A little bit of crown chakra energy up here. Very beautiful card. We'll set that over here next to the pine cone, as is our tradition. And then to begin the reading, let us draw your oracle cards on screen now. So angels coming forward for pile 2 today. Could you please guide us to the right cards that will help us convey your message to pile 2, the healing, comforting message that you want to send to them. Thank you. Okay, the first card is, oh, beautiful. Surrender low self-esteem. With the sunflower. And I'll read this text down here once I'm done drawing all the oracle cards, but that is the first part of your message today. I also, while I was drawing that pile too, I was getting the feeling of a very motherly type angel energy. I don't know if you typically connect with a guardian angel that is kind of motherly. I want to say she kind of seems, at least in her, the way she presents, is like a middle-aged kind of like motherly vibe. I want to say dark hair. That's the angel kind of coming forward to you for today, pile 2. Thank you, angel, for coming forward. Oh, okay, so we got 2 of those. We'll try to fit them all on screen. My tiny little area here, but... So 2 Ask Your Guides oracles today. So the first one is Restriction with Joy Guides. Beautiful. It looks like, is that not a violet, is that a pansy? I think that's a pansy technically. 38 is the number popping out here. in case you're interested in some synchronicity numbers, angel numbers, things like that to notice in day-to-day life. Restriction. And then we have loss, number 29, healer guides. Oh boy. Okay, loss, restriction, low self-esteem. Yeah, I wonder if you've been feeling kind of down lately, pile 2, because of some sort of loss. We'll get some more details on that, but this definitely is going to be a little bit more of a pep talk reading, okay? Is what I'm feeling. Like, it's going to be okay, pile 2, but we'll see what more specifically this angel wants to say to you, at least the one that's most prominently coming out. Okay. Okay, that's for sure was the one that came out. Let's see what that one is. We have cultivation. A lot about flowers today. Cultivation, neglected versus nurtured. Okay, yep. That's what I'm saying. Just confirming it. So, pile 2, based on the cards that came out for you today, like I said, this is more of a pep talk type reading. I think there's been some sort of loss, like I was saying, recently in your life that these angels want to come forward and talk to you about. They are feeling that you are maybe a little bit more emotionally low because of the events that have happened in your life recently. And I think what they're telling me is that they're sensing that your light is a little dimmed lately. They want you to feel lighter of heart. They want you to feel more... It's very odd. The word that's coming out from them is expansion and growth. And I think that too, I mean, especially with the abundance of flowers in this particular reading, like we have this one with... it looks like maybe daisies, and then the pansy is the main flower here, and then we have a sunflower, and then we even have flowers here in this card from the Soul Mirror Oracle, right? It's like the turning of the season in your life from a very sad winter into a new spring of more happiness and light and growth compared to the stagnancy and the sadness that has been, okay? And, half of it might be that they're just giving you a heads up, hey, there's better times coming along, pile 2, but at the same time, they're acknowledging that you have been going through a lot of pain recently because of this. And, what's interesting is the Surrender Low Self-Esteem card that came out. I'll actually just read that now like I promised earlier. It says, you deserve success, love, and abundance. Set an intention to identify and release any remnants of low self-esteem. Whatever this loss was, and it could have been the loss of a loved one, it could have been the loss of a job, it could have been the loss of anything that's important to you, pile 2. I think either way, though, it knocked some of your self-esteem. It brought you feeling low. It brought you to a sensation of, I am not good enough, or I made a mistake, or I don't feel like I deserve to be happy right now, when, especially if this is someone that is like a loved one that you lost, pile 2. Sometimes we almost feel guilty for feeling happy after we've lost someone that was so important to us. Like, not happy at their passing, right? But happy in terms of, I'm ready to see the sunshine in life again. I'm ready to get back to more normal life after my time period of grieving has come to a conclusion, right? Sometimes we feel like we're almost betraying them, like, oh, we haven't grieved them enough, or why am I not more sad? Especially to pile 2, if this is someone that you lost, and, the conclusion that I've come to in my life, pile 2, when it comes to death is, I mean, in my personal belief, death isn't the end, right? Of course, I'm a tarot reader, like, I'm very spiritual, but sometimes death can actually be... Loss in general can actually just be a doorway rather than the ending of something, okay? And if this is a passed on loved one that you lost, pile 2, your angels are also coming forward to reassure you that not only, of course, are they happy where they are, but on top of that, this person or people that you lost would want you to hit the ground running and be happy again. They wouldn't want you to be sad, okay? Because the way that I have heard, the way it's discussed with the other side, they don't really see death the way that we do. You know, when we're so entrenched in our 3D bodies here on Earth, and death seems like such a finality, really to them, it's kind of like a birthday back into the reality of between life, right? And so, well, between lives, I should say, plural. So I would say if you are in any way, shape, or form inclined towards celebrating, inclined towards doing something that makes you happy, do not feel 1 ounce of guilt, pile 2, about doing the thing that makes you happy, because everyone involved, including if it's like someone that you did lose, that maybe is on the other side right now, would want you to chase happiness and would want you to chase light and would want you to chase love. Because if there's anything that is commonly oft repeated when it comes to the other side, that the purpose of life is to enjoy and is to love, okay? And love can manifest in many different ways. Now, of course, we think of love as, you know, the very societally conditioned, like, oh, romantic love, you know, get with someone hot and then you know, whatever. It's kind of a corny way, but you know what I mean? Like romantic love, right? But love can manifest in different ways, pile 2. Like, it can manifest in the way of a meal that just makes your heart warm, like maybe your favorite dessert or your favorite food. Love can manifest in spending time with your family, like familial love or platonic love with your friends, things like that. Love can manifest, too, in the connection of our soul with our passions, okay? Things that we really like to do, like, for some reason I'm thinking of Bob Ross and painting. I don't know why. Maybe you really enjoy Bob Ross and painting, pile 2, but, you know, or like, yeah, maybe take a painting class, things like that. Same thing, too, and I know I've gone on about, like, if this was a loss of a loved one, pile 2, if it's something more of, like, the loss of a job, same thing. That's still a feeling of a door closing in your life, and something that can knock your self-esteem and can make you feel like, I am not good enough. I shouldn't be happy. What's wrong with me? Why did that happen? Why did I lose that job? Why was I cut? Okay, was I not good enough? Questions like that. Same thing. Do something for you that sparks love and sparks light in your life, especially in this time of loss, okay? You don't need to restrict yourself here, pile 2, okay? They want you to do things that, you know, looking at even the pile leader you chose, raise your vibration. And you know what raises your vibration? Love. Being with people you love, doing things that you love, and embodying both the energy of the creator of creation itself, so maybe in, say, following a Bob Ross tutorial on how to paint something, right? Just one example, right? You know, or the love in terms of what manifests in connection, right? Because what is the creator other than creation and connection, okay? Embody that holy energy here as you recover from whatever this was, pile 2, okay? And that is something that your angels are saying should raise that vibration of yours, raise that self-esteem a little bit more, okay? And like your Soul Mirror Oracle says here, cultivation, neglected versus nurtured. Instead of neglecting yourself and restricting yourself so much, you'll be nurturing yourself. And that will usher you into that spring of life again, that cycle. Because in life, we have different seasons, repeating on and on. Not just in the natural world around us, of course, duh, right? But within ourselves. There are springs and summers and autumns and winters of our lives, and you're moving from a winter into a spring. Loss and death into new life through creation and through connection. Okay. So that is what your angels, at least from the oracle cards, I haven't even gotten to your tarot cards yet, pile 2, but they want you to uplift yourself. Raise your vibration, right, as your pile leader says, okay? I am going to draw your tarot cards now. Oh boy, I rambled quite a bit with your oracle cards, but hey, a lot of intuitive things were coming through. So angels for pile 2s, could you please draw us forward to 5 different cards or so that explains more about what you want to say to them, what's going on, advice, things like that. Thank you. What do you want pile 2 to hear? Ace of Pentacles. New opportunities in the material world. That is a fantastic sign for those of you who lost a job, right? Okay. We have Page of Pentacles, okay? Exploring with material wealth, exploring the things around us. Being a student of the earth. We have Judgment reversed is the core card. Yep, feeling like we can't move on. Because, pile 2, when we think of Judgment and Judgment Day, speaking of, angels, right? This card in tarot represents, typically upright of ascending to something new, moving on to the next world, okay? It's spiritually growing, but you received it in reverse as your core card, which means that's the core of the issue here that your angels are speaking out to you about. They're like, you feel kind of stuck. You're a little bit super glued to what's going on in the past of this sadness and this loss, which is not a fault, pile 2, but there's a lot of good things waiting for you if you were to turn that judgment upside down, right side up, to literally raise your vibration. Remember that movement here? Look, they're even moving upwards, right? It's Judgment Day in the card. Ascending to a higher plane, which in, layman's terms is doing things that make you happy. Okay, and then we have, Ace of Cups, beautiful. New emotions, new relationships. Gorgeous. What a beautiful reading, pile 2. And then we have the World reversed. Okay, which means it is not the end. Not the end. Not the curtain close. Okay, so looking over your tarot cards here, I'm going to just take a quick little sip of my soda too as well while I'm waiting, looking at these, getting the intuitive messages in as well. So for those of you where this was a loss of a job, okay, well, I'm going to tell you right off the bat, the Ace of Pentacles next to the Page of Pentacles is a fantastic sign for those of you that maybe are looking for a replacement job, okay? Same thing, or like maybe you have changed careers and you're like looking for your first job in that career. Excellent forecast in terms of that, okay? So do not fear not being able to find a replacement job or your next job in general, okay? If that's how this applies to you, pile 2. That is, you pretty much have it in the bag there. I mean, maybe if you'd gotten the King of Pentacles, it would have been like, but these two cards next to each other are just really good signs in terms of career and finances, okay? Because the Ace of Pentacles is a new opportunity in the material world, and the Page of Pentacles is someone that is exploring something new in the material world to them, okay? So beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. In terms of those who this is more like the loss of a loved one or some other sort of loss that's not related to career, this is just a general forecast, good sign of new opportunities coming forward for you in terms of being able to feel like you have abundance in your life in general, okay? Maybe because of those things that are being suggested, you doing like painting with Bob Ross. I'll just keep bringing it up, right? Making some happy little trees, right? Things like that. And then, yes, we talked about Judgment reverse. That's all about the needing to move forward, right? And what's interesting here is the Ace of Cups, because the Ace of Cups is a new opportunity for relationships or a new relationship in general. Also new emotions, but I would almost interpret this more as a relationship-related message here, pile 2. I think part of the reason why you're being encouraged to try these different things, like the things that make you happy, is because they're leading you towards a relationship that's going to be important to you. Which that can manifest both in, it could mean literally like a romantic relationship, or it could manifest in a platonic relationship, but either way. And there's something about that relationship of that person that you meet or gain a deeper connection with that's going to, in some way, replace what was lost. Or at least kind of fill that gap in your life that was lost and left empty because of the energy of the world being reversed next to it. It's like, it's not the end of something. It's being brought back to you in terms of a new relationship. I almost want to say, pile 2, if it's somebody that you lost in terms of a loved one, I almost wonder if they're going to be reincarnated very soon as a family member that is, like, new, is one way I would interpret it. Or there's some element of whoever this Ace of Cups is referring to that they reinvigorate, and it's like a rebirth of that energy in your life that was lost, okay? Same thing, too, if this is career-related. It's like there's going to be a relationship at that career. Say if you do change jobs or lost one and then you go to a new one, right? There's a relationship there that's important, and that's why your angels really want you to go forward, okay, and start making that forward momentum towards doing the things that you love, trying new things, applying for new jobs, and things like that, because there's a lot of opportunities coming, both in the material and in terms of emotions and relationships. And that, too, I think will kind of exponentially build on itself. It'll just snowball into raising your vibration that much higher, pile 2, because, I mean, it's almost like, the imagery I'm seeing is like you being, it's very odd. You're being immersed in like a fountain when before it was a desert. Like there's been such a drought of abundance in your life, and then all of a sudden it's like so much of what you've been missing just comes crashing in at once. Like finding a fountain in the middle of a desert and you've been walking for days. Very interesting imagery there, pile 2, from the angels. They keep saying you're not going to believe it. You're not going to believe it. So yes, that's why they want you to move towards these things. And I think, like I was saying, the key to that is surrender low self-esteem and nurturing yourself, okay? Not restricting yourself. Being confident in your ability to move forward and to enjoy life again and to receive blessings, okay? Very, very beautiful reading today, pile 2. It's always the best kind of reading to give is the, hey, everything is going to look up in the very near future reading, right? You know, things like that. Because, you know, sometimes when you do tarot readings, you know, sad messages come through. But this particular reading is one of my favorites because, especially after the time that I sense that you've had recently, pile 2, it's comforting to me as the tarot reader to be able to tell you, hey, things are going to start really looking up for you, okay? So just remember, if there's anything that you take away from this reading, if you even forget everything else, just walk away with indulge in love. Love of the things that you like to do. Love of the people around you. And letting that love of connection and creation, those 2 keywords we talked about before, being your North Star, guiding you forward on this path, okay? Connection and creation. And that is what I will leave you with today, my lovely pile 2. So thank you so much for tuning in for this angel reading today. If you liked it and if it resonated with you, please like, comment, and or subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so yet. That just helps me out a little bit, which helps me provide more readings for both you and others in the future. And as is our tradition on the channel, I wish you a wonderful rest of your day, filled with creation and connection and happiness and higher vibrations, right? Of course, like your pile leader says. And I hope to see you in the next reading, pile 2. Bye. Hello there, my lovely pile number 3. Welcome today to your angel message reading, something that they want to share with you that is comforting and or healing. As you recall, the card used to pick your pile today, the angel was earth and ground. Gorgeous. Some root chakra energy in this particular reading. Being immersed in the world around us. I'll set that over here next to the pine cone, as is our tradition. And right away, let's draw your oracle cards. So angels coming forward for pile 3 today. Could you please guide us to the right cards that explains what you want them to know? What message, what secret do you want them to know? Thank you. Definitely that one. So we have surrender your fear of change. And I'll read that paragraph down here a little bit later. But that is the first card. Surrender a fear of change. Then the second deck today. Whoopsie, that was not a great shuffle. We'll try that again. Some decks I struggle. Okay, 1, 2, 3, go. Beautiful. Oh, okay. We got 2. Just like pile 2 today had 2 of these. And in fact, pile 2 also had this card, Restriction. Number 38 from Joy Guides. We also have number 56, Community. There we go. So those are your 2 cards from that particular deck. And then last but not least, we have this deck here. Okay. Well, definitely that one is standing out, so we'll draw that card. And your card from this deck is Celebration, with the keywords of mournful versus joyous. Beautiful. So pile 3, definitely what is prominently coming out here from just your oracle cards, though of course we'll draw tarot cards later, is your angels want to share a message surrounding, what's the best way to put it? What they're saying is recently you've been getting too caught up in fear around, well, it's kind of like what your surrender card says. Surrender your fear of change. And this, actually, I'll read that paragraph right now like I promised. It says, the universe is reminding you that you are cared for always, whether you're afraid of a change in your job, health, or a relationship, or if you fear aging or death, repeat the affirmation, I have faith that all is well. And so that's the message they're really coming forward today with you for, is you've been fearing change in some sort of area of your life, and I want to say it's in a group that you're a part of, because not only do you have community as your one of your spirit guide cards, but you also have a group of people in the celebration card here. So it could be your community at large, on any scale from government to local. It could mean your family. It could mean a friend group that you're in. But either way, there is just some sort of anxiety surrounding and swirling around. And the restriction card is interesting. I feel like you fear that the change is going to restrict you in some way, or you... one second, I'm going to ask for your angels to come forward with a direct word here, 1 second. It's interesting, the keyword they're coming forward with is reciprocity, or reciprocating things. I almost wonder if you're being invited to like a new group, or you want to be, and you're afraid that your feelings and your goodwill of joining is not going to be reciprocated. Like, it's like you fear you're going to get rejected. It could be a new job, pile 3. Like your fear, oh God, am I going to fit in well there? Or a new friend group, or some sort of family gathering where you're like, I really am anxious about how they're going to receive me this time for some particular reason. Especially with celebration, because that makes me think of like a holiday event. Like here in the United States, the next holiday coming up at the time that this reading is being posted is like Thanksgiving, just for example. Maybe you fear something going on there, or just in general, some group that you're a part of. And it's interesting because I think we'll get to your main advice later when we draw your tarot cards, but because of the angel that you were drawn to here as your pile leader for earth and ground, number one piece of evidence, number one piece of advice here is going to be to reduce your worry in this situation, okay? And do some grounding exercises, because that will help you kind of get out of that nebulous, very air element heavy, overthinking things and being anxious about things, and more rooted. And I just realized this too. I'm sorry, it took me a second. Not only do you have earth and ground as your pile leader, in your restriction card here, you can kind of see, I'll hold it up on camera. Literally, the person meditating here is doing like a grounding exercise, because you can see the roots kind of going through her soul and down through her root chakra, right? Rooting, right? And then even with your celebration card, look what they're standing on: earth, rock. Yeah, you, grounding is your main piece of advice here with this situation, to help calm you and make you feel better about what's going on, okay? As anxiety-inducing as this seems to be, pile 3, I think what your angels are trying to say is it's not going to be as bad as you think it is, okay? Especially because when I reached out to them today, the intention was a healing and comforting message for you. It's like your fear, rejection, something like that. Fear, oh, are they going to accept me? Or will harmony be maintained at this celebration of this gathering? Will we get along? It's like you fear social conflict, yeah, if I had to summarize it in one way. And change because of that, too, with the surrender card here. Like, it's going to be just fine. So let's draw your tarot cards, pile 3. Angels coming forward for pile 3. Would you happen to be able to give us maybe 5 cards that explains more about what you want to tell them? The advice for them? I would not be surprised if the 3 of Cups comes out, but we'll see. Thank you. Yeah, definitely do some grounding meditations, pile 3. Very, very clear message here today. Okay, well, definitely that one. We have the Ace of Cups, new relationships. Okay, remember I was just saying, it's like, I feel like maybe it's like a new group that you're a part of, or you're afraid you're going to like socially rejected from, or like a new job. Yeah, Ace of Cups is all about newness in terms of emotions and relationships. And then we have the, what did I just tell you, pile 3? I was like, I would not be surprised if you get the 3 of Cups. What did I just tell you? Okay. Anyways, yeah, social group for sure. That's literally what this card means. Also, it can mean celebrations. As like these 3 ladies in this particular card are together and they're drinking, right? They have cups in their hands. I was like, okay, I knew it. I was like, this is the 3 of Cups reading, isn't it? There we go. Okay. Woo. Yeah. New relationships in a group. That, or it's like maybe someone was added to the group and you're like, I'm not sure how to read this person, or I'm afraid they're gonna not be able to like fit in cohesively or something like that. And then we have the Queen of Wands. Inner confidence. Remember, it was like maybe you fear social rejection of some sort as well. Yeah. Look at this reading. Oh my god. Okay, and then we have the 10 of Wands, which is burdens. And then we have the 7 of Cups reversed. Okay, being careful what you wish for. What do you truly want from this situation? What's a dream and what's a nightmare? Okay, so interesting. Well, yeah, 3 of Cups. I already talked about that ad nauseum. I got excited as you saw on camera. Yeah, so definitely the situation the angels are talking about is something about change or newness in terms of a relationship in either a gathering or a social group because of the 3 of Cups next to the Ace of Cups here, right? That's just another indicator that my intuition was spot on earlier with the oracle cards. And yeah, celebration here being your soul mirror oracle is definitely makes me think of like an event in particular, right? And the core issue here, though, is what the angels are talking about is, yeah, we had the fear of change earlier with the surrender card, but also the Queen of Wands speaks of being, the core card. Confidence, okay? She is the queen that embodies the energy of being confident in oneself, of having high self-esteem, of being powerful in your passion and your willpower, and having healthy ego, okay? ego in a good way, not, sometimes we kind of have a bad connotation with ego, but you need some ego, right? Because then otherwise you wouldn't have any self-esteem. Yeah, and then very interesting, we have the Ten of Wands with the Seven of Cups reversed towards the end here. And it's like, there's something about this situation that's putting a lot of pressure on you, pile 3, and you're like, oh my god. I wonder if you're almost even hosting something, and that's why you fear... there's a lot of different energies in this reading, and of course, multiple people are going to be watching this, and so maybe that's kind of where all this is getting muddled, but if I had to summarize it for everybody watching this particular pile, it's like either a friend group or a celebration gathering or some sort of community that you're a part of or wanting to join, and there's a fear of like both change and things going well, okay, in the situation. And there's some sort of burden on your back with it, too, with the Ten of Wands being a present energy and your confidence being part of the issue as well. And your angels are really emphasizing for you to remain confident, or if you haven't felt confident so far, pile 3, be confident, okay? Especially because you got the Queen of Wands upright. If you fear that you will come off badly or poorly, that Queen of Wands is an assurance that you're going to come off just fine, okay? You're going to come off as confident and like you've got it all together, because sometimes in life, when we have situations where we have to present things or lead groups or maybe we become a part of a group, right? We're a new energy in a group, we can really fear the way that we come off to people, but a Queen of Wands is a very, very good card in terms of, like, it's going to be fine. Like, you're going to come off just fine. You're going to come off as, like, someone who's very self-assured. Okay. Powerful, too, because the Queen of Wands is fire. Okay, Wands are fire in tarot, and that speaks of someone who is, like, passionate and powerful and has willpower, things like that. Okay, so be confident in yourself if you're not. Is also a part of the message. Yes, and the Ten of Wands is the burden. Seven of Cups, yeah, reversed is very interesting, pile 3. I'm gonna take a sip as I'm looking at that here. The message coming through from your angels for that is very interesting. They're almost saying things are not what they seem at this particular gathering or group thing. I think you might have a tendency to overthink before, during, and after whatever this occasion is, pile 3. And your angels are kind of warning you that your first gut reactions to things might not always be correct. And you might be putting a little bit too much of a burden, hence the Ten of Wands, on yourself because of your tendency to overthink. And I almost get like a perfectionistic vibe off of you too. Like, I think you're too hard on yourself. Pile 3 is another thing that your angels are saying here in the message. And so, yeah, like they keep saying, like, just calm down. You're going to have a great time. It's going to be great. Like, it's very reassuring here. And, of course, that's angelic energy. Of course, they're going to be, like, comforting and healing pile 3. But I think that's really why they wanted to come forward today. Because they're just, like, especially, too, like, if it's you have to lead or you have to present pile 3, that can be really nerve-wracking. But you're going to do just fine. I know I've said that ad nauseum, but just to reassure you, right? Yeah, so in terms of advice, pile 3, I would not second guess yourself so much in terms of how you come off. They're also saying as a piece of advice to not overthink things and kind of just go with the flow a little bit more. Catch yourself or let yourself get caught up more in the moment of enjoying things. They keep saying smell the roses, okay? Not worry so much about like the overhead or like the goal of what's going on in this group or the celebration gathering type thing. Kind of feel the flow of it and get caught up in the flow of it instead of observing so much. Be present in the moment. And I think that's maybe why meditation is also a very prominent symbolic synchronicity in this reading, because, you know, not only do we have someone meditating here as your angel that you chose, of course, he's meditating literally, he's doing a grounding meditation, but you also have a meditation figure here in the restriction card. Okay, and so it might be a good idea, like I was saying, to meditate on this situation a little bit more. I think you might receive even more specific messages if you were to do, like, say, like an angel or grounding meditation regarding this particular situation. But what I was going to say earlier too is that meditation, really the main key core concept of it, even removing some of the spirituality out of it, is to teach your brain to not get caught up in the past or the future, but to really just notice what's going on in the moment. That's why you clear your mind when you meditate, pile 3, because it's basically effectively training your brain to shut off a little bit, okay? And that's what these angels are saying, is you need to put the brakes on the brain a little bit, the monkey brain that keeps going, oh God, how do I come off? Oh God, am I going to do well? Oh God, did I say the right thing? Things like that. Those are monkey brain things, okay? Those are, you know, our biology that has conditioned us to fear social rejection, because social rejection in human history meant being outcast from the, you know, the quote-unquote tribe, and that's not good for survival, okay? But that's the monkey brain speaking, okay? It's a little bit too sensitive to those things. And so through meditation, that's not already, you know, a part of your repertoire, right, is teaching the monkey brain to shut up, just to put it bluntly, and to enjoy the moment for what it really is, okay? And even if you do make a little slip up, pile 3, the most comforting thing I can offer as advice, and this helped me tremendously whenever I have had social anxiety myself. I used to have it really bad when I was a kid. The main thing, though, that helped me get out of it personally is the understanding of the little tiny mistakes that you tally up in your mind that you've made, that you're yourself. I guarantee you 99% of people are barely going to notice the mistakes, okay? Because, like, think of the last social gathering that you went to, pile 3. Think of any mistakes that were made at that social gathering. Did you notice the mistakes that every single person there made? And every single mistake that they made? Because I guarantee you didn't. Because you know what you were doing? You were so caught up in what's going on in my world, okay? And that's the comforting thing, is that as humans, we get so caught up in my world that we don't focus on others as much as we focus on ourselves, which, I mean, it sounds selfish, but it's true, pile 3. And so, you know, when you're really self-conscious like that, sometimes the best thing to do is to remind yourself, people are not paying as much attention to me as I pay attention to myself. That's just a universal truth, pile 3, okay? And that can alleviate things like, say, social anxiety, or perhaps anxiety in terms of having, like, a presentation or some sort of thing that you have to do in front of people, okay? Or gather with people, because trust me, 99% of people are a lot more forgiving of you than you are forgiving of yourself. And forgetting, too, like I said. I mean, even think too, I'm just thinking, like, in terms of my own life, like, I can't even remember the mistakes that anybody else made at the last gathering that I was at. Like, other than, I mean, yeah, sometimes there might be, like, super massive mistakes, but usually that, like, even then they're, like, on accident, and I understood that the person that made that mistake, it was an accident, okay? Like, people are more forgiving of you than you think that they are, and so that's what your angels are saying, is just take a deep breath, it's gonna be fine. It's not the end of the world. You probably won't make any mistakes anyways. It's gonna be just fine. The change is gonna be fine. Just turn the monkey brain off a little bit more, okay? But I think the final thing that will maybe balm some of your worry, pile 3, is if we ask your angels, what's the outcome of this situation, okay? What's the outcome? Because that will help you feel better, right? Because that's what the monkey brain really wants to know. What's going to happen, right? things like that. Angels, can you please provide us 3 cards that explains more about the outcome of the situation that pile 3 might be worried about? Thank you. I swear to God, if there's a 10 of Cups in here. I don't know, 2 of Cups maybe. Okay, we have the Magician reversed. Interesting. We'll see what that means next to the other cards that come out. We have the Page of Cups reversed. And we have the 3 of Swords. Okay. So 1 second as I interpret this reading. Okay, so the Magician reversed is oftentimes about a blockage in the things that we want to manifest, okay? Because normally upright it's about manifesting things, bringing things forward, okay? And then the 3 of Swords, and don't run away from the reading when I say this, but the 3 of Swords can indicate some sort of pain, all right? But what's interesting is that you have the Page of Cups reversed, and the Page of Cups reversed can kind of mean... Sometimes it can indicate immaturity. And sometimes it can indicate like a lack of exploring or learning around emotions. So pile 3, I think what this the angels are saying as the outcome to the situation that you're worried about. They're not guaranteeing that no mistakes will be made, because there is the 3 of Swords, which can mean a pain of some sort. Okay, that doesn't mean a massive pain. It doesn't mean like, oh no, the whole thing's going to just fall apart or... Okay. Right? So this isn't a promise that will go 100% well. All right, and I don't want to lie to you as a tarot reader, because especially with the 3 of Swords coming out, it's like, there might be a little bit of a pain. But what I'm also hearing from these angels is that despite any mistakes made, you know, or maybe this is even a past thing and you already kind of had the oopsie, and then you're like, oh God, I feel like a dunce. Like, oh my God, they probably judged me, right? The way that the mistake, if any, are made will come off is that I want to say they're saying something about people will understand and be forgiving of why. Like, it might even come off as... Especially that Page of Cups reversed. It's like, it's not... I'm going to tune in for a message 1 second. Okay, what they're saying, pile 3, especially because of the Page of Cups reversed here, is if there is any oopsie made or any little bit of pain regarding the situation, it's going to come off as like a youthful energy. They keep saying youthful for some reason. A youthful energy rather than like something that people would judge. I keep hearing that too, like people are not going to judge you very harshly, okay? So this isn't a guarantee that a mistake will be made or some pain will occur, but if it does, pile 3, just take a deep breath and understand that your angels are reassuring you that it's not the end of the world if it did, say this is past tense, happen, or if it does in the future, okay? And 2, with the Magician reversed, it's like something blocking you from manifesting something that you desire. And so I think people too will also understand, like if you're fearing other judgments from other people, they'll understand that you were kind of blocked from doing something exactly perfectly, okay? But yeah, just be reassured, okay? That even if there is an oopsie or there was an oopsie, people are going to be forgiving and understand, okay? So just remember those grounding exercises. Well, also, too, pile 3, remember, everyone makes social oopsies, okay? I guarantee you, even the most charismatic person on the earth has made a social oopsie before, okay? Think about, like, the most charismatic person you know. Have they ever made a social oopsie? I guarantee you they probably have, okay? Things are going to be just fine, all right? Just go for it. Be yourself. Don't fear change or putting yourself out there. Don't fear the celebration, okay? Go with the flow and enjoy it just in the moment, okay? Even find some humor in it, too. Humor also helps. Okay. So that is what I will leave you with today, my wonderful pile threes. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you liked the reading, if it resonated with you, please like, comment, and or subscribe to the channel if you have not done so yet. That just helps me out a little bit, which helps me provide more readings for both you and others in the future. And as is our tradition on the channel, I wish you a wonderful rest of your day. And I hope to see you in the next reading, pile 3. Be forgiving of yourself, okay? And understand it's going to be okay. All right. Bye.